When we bring in custom code to the AWS cloud through AWS Lambdas, we'll be implementing these Lambdas following the guidelines of nano services. Every Lambda function we create will be a nano service, which will allow us to reap the benefits of serverless programming, which you have learned earlier. AWS Lambdas are also function as service implementation. So they bring in FaaS to the cloud. So let's see what FaaS is. Traditionally, we have been deploying our applications as follows. We have an instance in the cloud, which could be a Docker container, a virtual machine, and so on. On top of it, we have a server process up and running. On top of that server process, we have an application process. On top of it, we have classes and functions depending on the language runtime. When a request comes in from the end user or from another application, the application process will trigger or invoke these functions. Whatever response comes back will be sent back to that user or application. The server process and the application process will wait for the client request once they are up and running. Even when there are no requests, they are up and running. That is where the function as service comes in. In function as services, we'll have a platform that will host various functions or operations. In case of AWS, this is the Lambda service. The operations are triggered by an event that happen in other resources. These resources in AWS can be S3, SNS, DynamoDB, etc. When those events happen, they will trigger or they will fire an event. The Lambda service will receive that event, invoke the Lambda function. They are event based. Once the function finishes its work, the function can live for a little bit to serve other immediate events if there are any. Or if there are no events, the platform will shut down the function. That is the main difference here between FaaS and the earlier traditional model, which we have been using for years. We can call it BaaS, backend as service. So through FaaS, we derive the benefit which we have learned in serverless programming, usage-based cost. We will be charged for how much our time our function took to execute. We will not be charged for how much time the environment took to come up or how much time the environment was up and all that. And our environment for the function will be up only when there is an event happening, when the function is really required. And that environment will be shut down completely by the Lambda service when we don't need it. So to summarize it, in function-based applications or function as service applications like Lambdas, we'll have a platform that will have independent functions that will be triggered by external events. The platform will create the required environment for our function and it will invoke the function. Here we have an example of Java-based environment. You will be learning about all this in detail in lectures later on. So the Lambda service will create the host environment, the Java virtual machine, the Lambda Java runtime, and finally it will run the Lambda function which you deploy onto it. We don't have to worry about the infrastructure that is required. We don't have to worry about non-functional requirements like scaling, security, reliability, etc. The Lambda service will take care of all that for us. Those are huge advantages of function as service.